This is Grizzly's Growls, Episode 0. It's the beginning of February 2007, and you can call me Grizzly. I also have a real name, my secret identity as a mild-mannered telemarketer. I became Grizzly in southeast Michigan near Detroit a few years back, living in a motel, working at a factory, hanging out in the rougher bars, listening to my scanner and calling a lot of cabs. My hair grows in extremely thick, and I used to have long hair and a full, scraggly beard. When I'd call a cab to go to a bar to sing karaoke, for example, I'd listen to the scanner to see when it was coming, and I'd hear the dispatcher say, "Grizzly Adams needs a cab at the motel." I didn't look like the guy who played Grizzly Adams on TV, other than the hair and the beard. At the time, I looked more like Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. But I thought the nickname was kind of cool, so I kept it. My last name isn't Adams, so I'm just Grizzly. Since I've moved back home to northern Minnesota, I've cut my hair and trimmed my beard, but I kept Grizzly, and I kept singing. There are a lot of people with my first name who sing karaoke, though, so I started putting down Grizzly on the little slips I put in for my songs. I'm told I'm a pretty good singer, and I'm absurdly comfortable in front of a crowd with a microphone in my hand. I've become something of a minor local celebrity. Either that or a minor local embarrassment. Anyway, if you go to the right places, people know who Grizzly is. Some of the wrong places, too. I've been tinkering with computers since high school in 1976, and I recently came across a podcast associated with the technical email forum I follow. Since then, I've been listening to more and more podcasts. Now, I like the way I sound on a microphone, no shame in that. People keep telling me, "You ought to be on the radio." Well, I'll probably never be on the radio. But this I can do. What is this podcast about? Well, it's about 5 minutes, maybe. Anyway, it's about whatever seems most important to me at the time. I have a few ideas I'm kicking around. Thing is, I have Asperger's syndrome. It's what's called a pervasive developmental disorder. It's a disorder because it makes some important things harder. It's developmental because it seems to arise from differences in how a child develops, especially as regards sensory issues, but also how one perceives other people. And it's pervasive because it affects so many aspects of a child's development that essentially it affects everything. And it continues into adulthood. And this podcast might turn out to be about that. A couple of minor caveats here. Though they say Asperger's is on the autistic spectrum, I'm not Rain Man, and I am self-diagnosed. When I was growing up in the 60s, there was no such diagnosis as Asperger's syndrome. I was once diagnosed in that little room at my elementary school where they had the special classes as minimally retarded. I recall my mom asking me if I thought I was retarded, and no, I didn't think so. And from then on, even though I found school tremendously hard, I never went back to special classes. I suppose I could go find a doctor to give me a formal diagnosis now, but it seems pointless at my age to do that. There's no magic pill to take, and what there is to do about it, I've already done. I've learned to cope with what I could, to struggle through whatever else seemed important, and simply gave up on doing a lot of stuff. I don't understand other people. I don't understand your thoughts, your motivations, your attitudes, your desires. I really don't know what you expect from me. I'm told most people can judge from body language and tone and from an inborn intuition what people are really asking and how to respond. I can't do that. I also don't speak body language, if you will. My behavior gives a very different message than my actual intent. I seem angry or withdrawn when I'm merely confused. Since I don't make eye contact, I can seem dishonest when I'm not. And people think I'm not listening because I don't look at them. But if I did look at them, I'd be unable to also listen and to think and to understand and to ask questions. Faces, especially eyes, are too intense to allow me to think. Social life? This is my social life. The internet is my social life. Karaoke is my social life. As I've said, I'm more comfortable in front of a crowd behind a microphone than I have any business being. People see that and assume I'm really that calm, comfortable, funny guy I play on stage. I've never really been that guy. As it turns out, I'm not retarded. I took an IQ test at about the age of 10, and my IQ is 141. The IQ book says I'm gifted. I was thinking the other day, with the way the IQ works, at 10, my mental age was 14. That sounds like I was pretty smart. At my current physical age, though, my mental age would be in my late 60s. Don't sound so clever anymore, do I? Which might explain my telemarketer job. Being clever doesn't count for much anymore. Well, that's all I have to say about that for the moment. I'll be back sooner or later, though. If you'd like, you could leave me a question or a comment at my phone number, 206-339-4749. That's 206-339-GRIZ. Kinda cool, huh? We'll talk at you later.